Good morning, good afternoon, and God bless you guys. My name is Ryder Rivera, and today I want to talk about your inner child. First things first, I want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for clicking on this video from wherever you came from. I appreciate you, and if things look a little bit different, I'm trying to make some adjustments as I'm making these videos so that it's a better experience, not only just for me for recording it, but as well as for you guys for listening and for watching it, of course. If you have any feedback or any advice or any thoughts on any of the things that I talk about inside of this video, or even in the videos to come, just leave them down in the comments and hopefully I'll get to them at some point. So I just want to get right into it by asking myself the question, and even you as well. What is your inner child, or what does that even mean? First things first, before I give you my thoughts on it, I don't want to claim that I know exactly what this is or what this means or this entire concept, or even that I'm the originator or the one that came up with this. It was just something that I've been thinking about for a couple years now. And to me, what it means is that inside of each and every single one of us, there's basically this small child that is within us. It's this person that we seem to know and to grow. It's someone that we seem to know less and less as we seem to get older. If you ever found yourself trying to like grasp at straws as to like, man, I feel like at a point in time in my life, even when I was younger, it seemed like I had some kind of direction or somewhere where I was going, or things that I liked, things that I didn't like, and I had so much feeling in my life. And as you grow older, it seems like you can barely grasp at it. That's what I think of when I think of my inner child. I mean, when I was younger, I feel like everything was more vibrant in the way that I took in the world around me. I feel like I was more curious about things. I feel like I was more excited or more reactive, is the best way I could describe it. Especially right now in my life, I don't see myself as a very reactive person, um, for whatever number of reasons that may be. But I want to focus on the inner child, my inner child, even your inner child as well. I also want you to think about yourself when I'm talking about this. I wanted to make the point about your inner child that kind of like a visual point about your inner child. As we grow older, as we go through life experiences, there's a lot of times in our life where things may happen to us, bad things may happen to us. And as these bad things come, it's almost like we have the inner child here, which I'm going to represent using my fist. It's almost like we have this inner child and we start to build like a shell or like a shield around the inner child. Our adult existence, our adult life, we learn to build more and more of a shield just encapsulating this child. I'm going to use the microphone just because it'll make it easier for me to talk about it. So this is the inner child. It seems like more and more we start to like build around it. Say by, I don't know, middle school, maybe high school, that you're going through life and something happens to you while you're in school. Maybe you get bullied. Maybe you're the one that's doing the bullying. Maybe um, I won't get into specifics, but maybe something happens at home to you, or maybe something happens with your parents, or maybe something happens around you. Just something that really affects you on like a really deep and emotional mental level. Think back to that time period, and I want to wonder how it was that you reacted to that, and where you think you went because of that event. For me, something that I think of is I don't think about it too much anymore, but I definitely was at a point in time in like I would say like elementary school and like middle school, bullied for sure. I won't get into the specifics of it, but That for sure affected me on a level that I didn't really imagine that it would. It's even hard to talk about now because of how much it definitely affected me. Um, but I want to make the point that because of that bullying that had happened back then, it affected me where now this inner child that I have in me, I have now added another layer to it. I want to say that it's to me it's the most easiest to be outgoing and free when you let your inner child do what it wants to do. Like a child. I mean, even when you see a child running around, especially when they're not super shy or better yet, think of all of the extroverted characteristics of a child: being outgoing, being very playful, very easy trusting, very curious. They just want to see the world around them. They have bright lights in their eyes. They're always laughing at pretty much anything that happens to them. I'm talking about more specifically the extroverted characteristics of them. You may even think that you had those kinds of characteristics, or maybe other people around you that knew you when you were younger think that you used to have all those things when you were younger, and they're just like, man, what happened? I would go out and say, because of all the things that have happened to you, it's almost like you built, as I'm describing, more and more of a shell. So imagine this is my hand. My hand is another one of those levels of the shell, and you're just adding another, and then another, and another, till at some point you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You don't recognize the person that you were, and you also don't recognize the person that you have become. I will say, as an adult, especially as an adult, we can start to understand why it is that we think we had to put these layers of shells around our inner child. The easiest way I can describe it is that we decided that we need to protect ourselves on an emotional, on a spiritual, on a physical, and on a mental level. I believe I said all the four different things: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I said the same thing twice, but in a different order. On all these levels, you decided at every single point where adversity or tribulation or something traumatic ended up coming after you, you decided to add another layer to your protection around your inner child, whether it be in that spiritual sense, whether it be in that emotional sense, or that mental or that physical sense. You decided to protect yourself. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you start to identify the fact that you have actually put so many layers of protection around yourself, being that inner kid in you, you start to realize, oh, maybe that's why I don't trust people so well. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit scared to be so outgoing in a specific crowd, or you feel like you have to do something to fit in, kind of like a chameleon. I feel like that's where I have been at times where I feel like I have to do specific things in a specific crowd to make sure that I am a part of it. A mob mentality kind of feel to it. In some ways, it definitely helps out because as we get older, there's such a thing as knowing a place and time to do things, not just doing whatever whenever you think you should do it. If anything, that is pretty childish, and I think that you should know how to have some self-control. So that makes sense, and I totally understand that. I'm sure you understand that as well. There's a time and a place for a lot of things, right? And I'm sure you've seen and you know of some examples of some people or things going on in your life, or even yourself as well, where you might have done something that was just not the right place or time for it. So that's my point. A little bit of self-control doesn't hurt. The point I want to get at, though, is how much we have decided not to pay attention to this child that is in us, this inner child. We don't even speak to them. We don't even really talk to them anymore. I've noticed in my life that I found the most growth when some of the most growth, not all of it. Most of my growth happened because of Jesus, but a lot of growth in my life happened because I started looking at this little kid that is inside me that I'm choosing to protect. And there's some people out there that I feel as though I have to keep this little shield around them. I have to keep this shield around the inner child that's within me. Maybe you feel the same way as well. But there are some people where in my life where I feel as though I can let a little bit of myself go. I can let myself be vulnerable. You get what I'm saying? Vulnerable. Being vulnerable, I mean, you can feel that vulnerability on any four of those levels that I was talking about, whether it be the physical, the mental, the emotional, or the spiritual. You can feel that vulnerability when it happens. Whether it be physically, you don't think that you might be able to take on some dude in a bar or something like that. Maybe on a mental sense, you seem to attack yourself or self-sabotage when you make a mistake, and you have different ways of going about expressing that, not only to yourself but the people around you. Maybe on the, what do you call it, the emotional level, being vulnerable. I know for guys, this is one of the biggest things, which is like giving yourself that emotional vulnerability to somebody else, just in general, even to the point where you might want to even cry, and you put like a shield around yourself because of that. Or even on a spiritual level, that vulnerability, which I would arguably say that is the most important out of all of them. But I haven't gotten really too deep into the spirituality aspect of like my point of view in life and everything like that. So I might steer clear of that for now. But I will say that this, in my opinion, is the most important thing. Arguably, I would say this is the thing that makes up your entire world around you, your spirit, how you exist, that child in you, that thing that knows exactly where you're going to be going in life, the direction, how to navigate issues, how to feel excited or have a good time or not feel so, pretty much any of the opposite characteristics of being depressed, almost. It's important to look after your inner child and to pay attention to your inner child. And I think more than anything throughout this conversation that I just want to introduce this concept to you and see what you think. And kind of just look at yourself from that aspect. At what points and at what different areas of my life have I decided to put this shield around myself? At what points in my life were too difficult at that time because I was a child and there was no one really there for me? So whether I liked it or not, I ended up building some kind of shield around myself to protect myself. To protect myself. That's in my mind anyway. Anyways, that's the reason why I feel like I put the shields around myself. Again, on those four different levels: the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. I decided to put something around myself to be like, nah, I'm not gonna think about that. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna focus on me. Put another shield. I don't have to trust people. I don't have to pay attention to some people. It's all about me, pretty much. Um, Again, I get the sentiment behind it because you're only trying to protect yourself, and that makes sense. I think you and I both understand, whatever age you're at, you understand how difficult and how dangerous life can possibly be, especially in the different areas that you decide to go into life. For me, since I'm going into business, it's really hard to trust people in business, from what I'm understanding. But not even on a business level, but trusting people in general. But I don't want to use that as a reason for me not to let myself trust other people and to find the good people in life. And I think it's worth it. I think it's worth going out there and trying to find out where those good people are at. So it's a battle that's worth facing. It's a concept for you and for myself to look into. Again, I'm not going to be the one to tell you that I'm the one that came up with this, to be honest with you, nor am I thinking that I'm going to be the one that explains it the best. But I really just want to bring this out to you. I want you to see where I'm coming from with this, at least on a very, 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 very basic level. Understand that there's this person in you from when you were a little kid, not as tall as you, not as secure as you, not as financially secure as you, not as well off as you, not as not as strong as you, not any of those things that you may have built up, which could be a protective, a positive, protective force in your life, any of the things that I just named. However, it doesn't change that if you give yourself the opportunity to let that child out, and I know there's times where you have, those are the times where you feel most freeing and the most relief and the most fulfillment, satisfaction, and such. One would even say that right now, in this position where I am and making this video, it's letting me use a bit of my inner child to be a part of this. I would arguably say my spirit to be a part of this. And it's fulfilling. And it means a lot to me. So it's worth looking into. Last time, I'm going to say it, I don't think I'm the one that came up with this. I don't think I can explain it the best. But I think I do understand it on a very simple level that I feel the need and the want as well to just bring it to you and see what you think about it. So now that I brought it up to you, I'm very interested in seeing what you think about it. I'm very interested to see what you have to say about it as well. So if you do have anything to say, anything that you agree or disagree, or even want me to look into, definitely go leave it in the comments below. And if you really did enjoy this video, please do like and share and subscribe as well. And I will see you in the next one. Yeah. So God bless you and have a nice rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Man, I know this audio is crispy.